Before you learn how to speak Portuguese in 2026, you need to understand something simple. Grammar is not your enemy, it's your shortcut. If you want to speak Portuguese confidently, naturally, and without translating in your head, mastering the basics will save you months of frustration. So, today I will show you exactly how to use this structure to improve your speaking fast, even if you're starting from zero. Hey everyone, I'm Bruno, your Brazilian Portuguese teacher here on YouTube. I have helped thousands of English speakers understand Portuguese in a simple, practical way. And in today's video, we're going to break down how you can practice speaking every day with real examples, simple grammar, and easy habits. Step one, you need to build a base using the grammar and then start replicating that using different verbs and different vocabulary. What do I mean? Okay, this week, this month, let me focus on using the present. Like, I like to eat pizza, I love to travel, I eat, I wake up at 7 every day, I go to the gym every day. Just try to master the present and focus on the structures you need. Some structures, for example, when you're talking about your daily routine, it's basically the same structure. The only thing that will change will be the words you're using. For example, I like to travel, then I like to eat pizza, I like to sleep, I like to watch TV, I like to read books, I like to listen to music. All these sentences, they're using the same structure. I'm just changing vocabulary. So this is the first step you need to make sure your speaking will be faster in Portuguese. Because you have to think less to create all those sentences because you have done hundreds of times before. This is the first structure that you can use in the present. I like and the thing that you like. Good. After that, you could use I want. I want to travel. I need to travel. I have to travel. All these structures you're going to use a lot as well in the present. I need to study Portuguese because I want to travel to Brazil. I need to go to the gym because I want to be in a good shape. I need to sleep well because I want to work more. All these sentences, I'm using those two structures that we focus on. So, the first pillar, the first thing you need to master is to really try to understand instead of memorize the language. Because if you try to memorize everything, it will be very hard to hold a conversation later because you will be trying to remember all those words, all those structures, and it would not flow when you're speaking, when needed. So instead of trying to memorize everything, try to understand the patterns we have in the language by using the right structures and just changing the vocabulary you're using, the verb you're using, but that same tense. The same would work when you're talking about the past. If I say, for example, I was watching a movie, I could create hundreds of sentences using the same structure. I was cooking chicken. I was sleeping yesterday. I was working a lot. I was buying a new iPhone. I was organizing my house. I was cleaning everything. So please try to focus on mastering the structures instead of just memorizing everything in Portuguese. Two, since you're not in Brazil, probably you need to try to immerse yourself in the language. How you can do that? Stop consuming content in English. So if you like to watch content about makeup, workout, motivation, music, try to consume everything in Portuguese. Start following Brazilian Portuguese influencers, singers, the topics that you love. So when you are in your free time, instead of just seeing TikToks or Reels in English, you could be doing the same on your free time in Portuguese. So still mastering, you're listening, learning a few words, and the best part is still having some fun. At the end, it's not just about learning, but about enjoying the process. Just drop a comment with the things that you like, and I'm going to recommend a few channels, a few influencers that you could be following now to make sure your listening will always improve in Portuguese. And then don't try to be perfect speaking Portuguese. It's not your native language. Always aim to improve step by step. So if you're just getting started, it's very likely that your pronunciation would not be as good as you wanted, or your grammar will not be good yet. Yeah, you're going through the process of learning a new language, a new culture, a new way of communicating. And that's fine. That's okay. That's part of the process. So stop waiting to be perfect to start practicing. So the goal is start speaking from day one. If you just started learning Portuguese today, start speaking, saying, "Hi, good morning. I'm Bruno. I like to watch TV. I like to work out." Start creating short sentences, but don't wait until you feel comfortable to start speaking, because that fear that you have to hold a conversation, to really have a conversation with a native, that fear will only get bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you start speaking now, when you have a chance, when you have an opportunity to hold a conversation with a native speaker, you'll be there ready and as comfortable as possible, because it's still a challenge, and challenging yourself is part of the process as well. So you just get used to it. You get used to not feeling 100% comfortable in a conversation because it's not English anymore. It's not your native language. You're just taking that leap to the future you always dreamed about it. We are very friendly and nice in Brazil. So people will say, "Wow, your Portuguese is amazing." Even if you only have a few sentences like good morning, good afternoon, how are you? People will be very impressed by your Portuguese instead of judging you, criticizing you. We will not do that in Brazil. We are very friendly. One extra tip that I always hear from my students, they're always saying, "Oh, I'm practicing in my mind. I'm kind of creating the sentence in my mind." That's fine. But if you want really great results, you need to speak out loud, because the confidence that you want will come from this effort that you put in speaking out loud. It may sound weird. People might think that you are weird if you live with, I don't know, with your husband. Maybe he's Brazilian, or your wife, your kids, your family. I don't know. But you really need to start speaking more alone, out loud, to when you have a chance to hold a conversation. You are used to that. You are used to hear your own voice, your words in Portuguese, and will sound and flow way better because you have done again many times before. At the end, it's all about practice. You're not going to speak Portuguese without speaking. So please, I know it's time consuming. I know sometimes you're tired, but think about how your life could be in Brazil with the family of your partner, with your partner family, or just a solo traveler in Brazil holding a conversation. Think about that when you're studying the language, when you're practicing, and how you're going to connect with Brazilians when you do this. If you really want to master your Brazilian Portuguese in 2026, scan this QR code and you can book a free trial lesson where I can show you exactly how to get there. Maybe you're just getting started, or maybe you're intermediate and feeling stuck, or maybe you've been studying for years but still cannot hold a conversation. Let's sit for 30 minutes. I'm going to analyze your case and suggest the best plan for you based on your goals and challenges. One final recommendation. If you take a look here at the channel, if you take a look here at the videos that I'm posting, you will see different kind of videos. This is a video that it's most of the time is in English, so I'm not teaching you grammar, I'm not showing you new vocabulary, I'm giving you more tips, strategies to master your Portuguese, but you're going to find a lot of free videos here teaching you how to use the future, how to use the past, how to use the present in Portuguese. Also, you have vlogs in Brazilian Portuguese to really increase your vocabulary, improve your vocabulary in the language. So you can talk about travel, you can talk about culture, music, food, right? So this is really the last thing. Before I let you go, I just wanted to give you some new words that you might don't have right now. So the new words are the wall, you're going to call that parede or muro. Depending on if it's outside of the house, we're going to call that parede. If it's inside, wait, if it's outside of the house, we're going to call that muro. If it's inside, we're going to call that parede. So the wall outside, muro, inside, parede. This painting right here, you might be a little bit upset because it's not exactly aligned, but that's fine. That's how we call it in Portuguese. We're going to say uma pintura com flores, flowers, flores. And then we have this microphone. Microphone, I'm going to say microfone. And with that in mind, I'll let you go now. I hope that you're ready to really take Portuguese seriously in 2026 because think about the life you could have living in Brazil, interacting with your family, with your husband, with your wife in Brazilian Portuguese, in their language. Have a great holiday, and I'll see you next year. See you. Take care.